Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. This week we're discussing the Season 2 premiere of Angel, Judgment. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
Alrighty, so this episode originally aired September 26th, 2000, attracting approximately 6.09 million viewers. Now, Dave, we had a summer off from when the series was airing, so let's just quickly go
Hmm.
over the movies that came out this summer. I'm not going to pick all of them. I'm just going to pick like the big ones.
Yeah, kind of the big range ones that most anyone would remember.
Yes. So, uh, we left off with our number one movie being Mission Impossible 2. Following that,
Hmm.
this summer we would get Gone in 60 Seconds,
Okay.
Shaft. I don't know if you're familiar with Shaft.
Vaguely. I
Okay.
might have it confused with something else.
The Perfect Storm,
Oh, yes.
Scary Movie.
Yes, of course.
It seems like you weren't terribly happy about that.
No, it's simply the case of it's completely understandable. It was a thing for its time, but it was the start and creation of those particular types of movies that have gone in quite many bad directions.
Well, you're not wrong. A little film called Chicken Run.
Okay.
This little movie, probably never heard of it, called X-Men.
Oh, live action one?
Yep,
The first one?
yep.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not worth going back to. Nutty,
Yeah, it's a thing that existed.
yeah, Nutty Professor 2: The Clumps, which I remember not being very good.
It was a Nutty Professor movie where premise was decent enough for the first movie, but it was essentially just a cash grab with the second movie.
This movie that I forgot about, but I'm going to have to rewatch. It's a movie called The Cell.
Cell. Or the Cell.
The Cell. Yeah, it's about um, but
Prison type kind of cell or science kind of cell?
kind of hard to answer. It's about like a you know what? I'm not even going to try to. There's a serial killer and virtual reality and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to try to explain the cell.
Hmm.
And finally, the
Hmm.
last one we're going to bring up, a movie called Bring It On, which I don't think you'll be familiar with, but maybe you are.
Possibly. I'm not sure if it's a dance movie or if it's that football movie.
It's like a cheerleading movie.
Okay, it's that one particular one.
Yeah. Alrighty. Now let's jump over to some video games. Now again, we'll quickly go through the big releases for the summer.
Oh, what, the summer for 2000?
Dave, we're gonna be on this for a while. I'm just.
In a good sort of sense,
Oh
or
yeah,
like,
this was a. I don't want to speak out of turn, but this might be the best summer for video games potentially ever.
I would not necessarily doubt it as it sits currently.
I'm just gonna hit the high points here. So June 4th, a little game called Space Channel 5.
Oh my gosh. Ye.
We're just getting started now. June 12th, we get the Game Boy Color version of Tomb Raider.
Hmm.
June 26th, we get Deuce X, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
It sounds familiar, and there's a picture in my head, but I don't know much about the game.
It's a first person PC shooter. I think it was re released on like the PS2, though.
Hmm.
A game you'll be more familiar with than I am, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment.
Oh, good for them.
Also on the 29th, the same day that Persona 2 came out, a little game called Diablo 2.
Ooh, very nice. Many people love that one.
Yes. Also on June 29th, Jet Set Radio.
Oh man, the Jet Set Radio-ness.
Also on June 29th, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast.
Ooh, ooh, that is huge.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Now we have to jump for major releases. We're going to jump all the way to August 15th, a little game called Chrono Cross.
Ooh,
June 24th, we're going to go. Technically, this isn't the game, it's an expansion, but I'm going to count it because I want to. A little game called Age of Empires 2 The Conquerors.
okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Again, with how games were released at the time and how it sort of went about it.
Well, yeah, there
Yeah,
wasn't
need
DLC.
to count it.
This
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
it needs
DLC
to
of
be
the time.
counted. Yeah, yeah.
Um, August 26th, Dragon Quest VII is released in Japan.
Yes. I have somewhat of a familiarity, but only with a couple specific titles.
Yeah, I've never played a Dragon Quest game, I don't think. Anyway, August 28th, this little game called Mario Tennis hits the N64.
Oh, yeah. Very good. I somewhat remember playing that from rental stores.
I loved that game. Um, August 30th. Oh, this is a sad one, though, Dave. August 30th on the Dreamcast, WWF Royal Rumble.
Okay.
It's not good.
Oh.
It's not. I'm just going to tell you right now. It's not. When did this episode air? I gotta get an air date. What did I say? It was September 26th. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, very good. So quickly, the games that came out in September. There was a Spider-Man game that came out on basically every console. There was a game called Parasite Eve 2.
Ah.
Uh, September 19th, so a week before this, we got a little game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Oh man, the pro skaters.
Yes. Also on the 24th, we got Baldur's Gate 2.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Know of it, but not much about any sort of the gameplay or anything like that.
And my favorite thing, the day before this episode aired, Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the Game Boy Color.
Oh man's.
Nice little tie in there. Now, for what was released around the time of this game that we're going to talk about quickly.
Hmm.
For when this game came out, what would we have been playing? Well, on the same day the episode aired, we had a little game called Destruction Derby Raw on the PS1. I'm not familiar with it, but it looks real dumb just looking at the cover.
If it's that one particularly dumb one, it's essentially you have to destroy a lot of stuff with a lot of different vehicles.
It looks like that, yeah. You could have also been playing NHL 2001, also released on the same day. On the Game Boy Color, the next day, there was Dragon Warrior 1 and 2, which I think was just a rebundle of like Dragon Quest 1 and 2. They just gave it a different
Or
name for North America at the time.
I believe so. I might be getting it confused with Final Fantasy, but it might have also been kind of an offshoot title that they developed for it.
According to Wikipedia, it was a re release of Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So I'm going to assume that
Ah,
Wikipedia is right. And the final
hmm.
game for September, F1 Championship Season 2000 on a bunch of consoles.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now, the number one movie in America this week, Dave, do you have any idea what it would be? Fall
Let's
of
see.
2000.
Going through the summer, those particular ones, with a couple movies that you already described.
It's not one that I've mentioned, and I'll give you a hint. It is a sequel.
There's only one thing, and I doubt it's the case, but I'll give it a shot. Would it be Toy Story 2?
No, I think that's 2001 if memory serves. But no, it
Mm,
is. It, I wouldn't expect you to be familiar with it. It's a movie called Urban Legends Final Cut.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing.
Yeah, it's also known as Urban Legends 2 Final Cut. Um, yeah, don't bother seeking it out. It's not very good.
Hmm.
Alrighty. So, number one song in America this week. Any idea?
Hmm. At that time of the year.
Fall of
Hmm.
2000.
Yeah, nothing's immediately coming to mind that I
It
remembered of hearing.
it's a song called Music by Madonna.
Madonna, if it had to be something.
I guess. I guess I, I have no strong feelings either way.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get on to the episode.
Yes.
Alright, Judgment. Okay, so the individual members of Angel Investigations are called to action. Cordelia is rehearsing a play. Wesley is at some kind of a party playing darts and is actually like competent for once. The other,
Well,
sorry.
well, well, decently competent. Did good with the three. That fourth one didn't exactly hit its target.
Well, you never know. Cordelia, Wesley, and Angel meet at a gym to stop some demons from attempting a human sacrifice. Meanwhile, Lila visits Lindsay's office where Darla is listening to classical music. She can feel Angel nearby, and Leslie wants revenge against him. Back at Cordelia's apartment, which is their new base of operations after their offices were blown up at the end of last season, the
Yeah.
gang tries to find out what Wolfram and Hart might have been trying to raise. Cordelia suddenly has a vision about and I'm going to butcher this, Priomuto demon.
Hmm.
At Wesley's suggestion, they go to a demon karaoke bar in Safe Haven to find his informant Merle, who knows where to find the Priomuto. Lorne, called the host, is introduced. Yay, it's Lorne! Makes me so happy. He's described by Wesley as an agnostic demon who can see into the hearts and read the future of those who sing. The host tries to convince Angel to do a number, but Angel refuses. There are three things I don't do: date, suntan, and sing in public.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angel finds the Priomuto demon with a pregnant woman named Jo. He kills the demon only to find that Jo tearfully informs him that the demon was her protector, mentioning something called the Tribunal. Angel tries to offer to help, but she runs away from him. Back at the apartment, Cordelia and Wesley attempt to comfort him and only make things worse. Angel, feeling guilty for having killed an innocent fighter on his own side, declares that he intends to take over the dead demon's mission, telling Wesley and Cordelia to find out what the Tribunal is. Angel tracks down Merle and roughs him up. The demon tells him there is a price on Jo, or more specifically, her baby, a daughter who is supposed to become someone powerful and important on the side of good. The price is tempting, but with the Priomuto defending her, no one can get to her. Angel picks up what Merle knows about where the Priomuto might have been living and leaves. Angel finds Gunn hiding vampires in a bad part of town and asks him to help find the Priomuto demon's hideout. They find the hideout and an important looking talisman. Angel asks Gunn to deliver the talisman to Wesley and Cordelia, leaving him to wait for Jo. When she appears, Angel offers his help and she tells him that all she wants is to protect her unborn daughter. When he persists, she asks him to help find the coat of arms, which might convince the tribunal to call off whatever they're doing, which is the talisman that Angel had just given to Gunn. When he confesses that he already found it and sent it off to his friends, she tells him in exasperation to stop trying to help and turns to leave, only to find a demon coming through the door. Angel kills it and they escape through the tunnels. Jo compares the tribunal to a court and says the dead Priomuto was going to be her champion. More demons attack and the two are separated. Angel arrives at the house, Gunn having already delivered the coat of arms and left, but Jo having never arrived. He and Cordelia talk about how they got cocky, treating the news that Angel had a chance to become human as if it meant the fight was over. Wesley interrupts with more information about the tribunal, including the fact that it's a fight to the death. To get more information, Angel is forced to sing karaoke in front of the host. He sings Mandy, for which the host tells him the trial will be wherever Jo is. though he offers no conclusive answers to whether or not Angel will be able to save her. As he sets off to find her, the trial begins, and with no champion and no coat of arms, Joe is told that her life is forfeit, but Angel arrives just in time and throws down the coat of arms, declaring himself to be her champion. Angel is stabbed in the ensuing fight, and the tribunal declares his opponent to have won, but Angel pulls a sword out of his chest and cuts off the other champion's head. The tribunal grants Joe and her daughter protection until their child becomes of age. Angel returns to Cordelia's apartment and removes the board that they have been keeping track of their kills on. Wesley agrees that keeping score was a mistake. It's a job, not a race. Angel finally goes to visit Faith, now serving a long prison term, and they talk about redemption. Alrighty. So what did you think of this episode, Dave?
Well, that's a fairly good episode, at least for starting up the second season and giving some of an idea of how the story is kind of going to be panning, an idea from where we sort of came from to where we're sort of going, and transitional sort of stuff from there. All the extra little things that they added into the story were always so interesting with that, with the start of it, with everyone seemingly having their own lives but still working on the project. Cordelia slapping the guy, though.
That was good.
Just, ew.
Um,
Um,
One of the things I didn't mention in the rundown, but I'm going to bring it up, is when Angel is helping Joe escape, they go into this. Well, we don't know it's a hotel yet, but I'm going to tell you it's a hotel that Angel seems to have some kind of familiarity with, and that will become important later on.
yeah, that one particular room, covered furniture, fancy stone pillars and whatnot. And it's like, wait, I've been here before. And they kind of
Yes.
stopped. And it's like, this place is going to be important.
Yes, it is, and it looks so cool. Anyway,
Um, Other particular things was, I don't know what that other demon's problem was. Like, sure, stabbed Angel in the chest and whatnot, but don't they have some sort of sense that they're fighting other demons? Like, he didn't realize that Angel was a vampire and not a human.
yeah,
Like,
that's kind of a
confirm that you killed. Confirmed you killed your enemy first.
it's kind of this weird thing where like some demons seem to be able to tell that he's a vampire and others are just like whatever, they don't seem to notice. So yeah, it's kind of this weird thing that's never really made clear.
But nevertheless, it was still good. Of the number one rule: make sure your enemy is dead.
Yes.
Decapitation.
Yes, I also love Angel like riding the horse. When he goes over to the horse and he's like, look, don't make me look like an idiot.
Yeah, to be a partnership with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it was a it's a fun episode and a good way to kind of start the season off.
I am a bit curious as well as how much of a role is this singing demon going to be having within the series? Is he going to be one of those big important guys to go to for certain things that are happening within the story, or is he kind of just the occasional visit in that sort of case? Because on the one hand, he's a good character. I don't discredit that, but case of how much you got to use for him, how much is he got to be within the story?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Dave, he is gonna be a regular character.
Neat.
Like, there's 22 episodes this season, and he's gonna be in like 15 of them.
Nah,
So he'll be in most episodes.
I guess the only other question is how many more people are we going to be hearing sing?
Um, I think it's usually Angel who ends up having to do
Al-
the singing.
Always with the angel.
I have a gut feeling that at some point Cordelia does too, and maybe Wesley.
Neat. Everyone at least gets a shot.
I think. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah, well, just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yes. Now, for a little bit of international titles. There's nothing really good this time.
No. Well, it did go with Judgment for the English, so not
Yeah,
too much to go with.
basically in every language, it's either Judgment, The Judgment, And then in Hungarian, it's the trial. Not a whole lot of creativity going on for that one. We also find out that if you were paying attention during the opening credits, we'll see that Gunn is now a main character, like he's in the title sequence.
Yeah, he was added in as well.
Yes, so he will be a main character going forward. Alrighty. So if you have nothing else about this episode, Dave, next week we'll be discussing an episode called Are You Now or Have You Ever Been? Where Angel is going to revisit the Hyperion Hotel, a place he has not been since the 1950s. And let's just say he might have done some things there in the 50s. But Dave, there's going to be flashbacks to the 1950s.
Yeah, it's understandable.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But until next time, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.